It's PowerBack time on the Gutsy podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. You've thought about it long enough. It's time to make a decision. You think you're locked into it, and then right before you go to make your move, your brain kicks in. It has just this magical way of taking something that feels like it should be simple and making it 10,000 times more complicated. And when that kicks in, man, it just throws you right back into indecision. Wavering back and forth between all of the different options, overthinking every possible outcome, waiting until the right time, waiting till you have all of the pieces and all of the information, waiting until you have this perfectly curated plan to make your next move. But all that waiting is not getting you to the place you know that you're ready to be at. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make better decisions faster. Look, this is not about blasting through your decisions or ignoring the truth or hustling your way through life. This is about hearing your unfiltered truth and moving with it instead of stalling and overthinking it. If you want to make decision making a little bit easier, this episode is for you. What we're talking about today can be applied with everything. This is in your business decisions. This is in your life decisions, your relationship decisions, what you are deciding to do with your body. If you're deciding to move, right? Like, take this and apply it everywhere. I think it's important to first define what better decisions are and what faster means. Because like I said in the intro, this is not about like blasting through making decisions. It's not about ignoring the truth or the details or the depths. It's not about hustling your way through it or, we're not on a skyrocket here. Okay. That's not what faster means. I'll get to that in a second. This is really about actually quite the contrary, slowing down, listening to yourself, hearing your unfiltered truth. That's the anchor here today, friend. Okay. The unfiltered truth. This is what your body is saying. This is your inner knowing. This is what is probably the right next move or the right decision where you actually want to go before you voice it out loud, before you lock into it, before you tell your best friend or your coach. This is that internal dialogue that's really guiding you, that's giving you the clear answer, but your brain is like, hold on, let me shake the snow globe and let's make it a little bit harder to see and let's make it a lot more complicated to do. So what are better decisions, right? Like, I think that any decision that we make, there's always an opportunity with it. We learn something, we grow through something, we figure something out, it leads us to something, right? Like, I'm not saying that there are right or wrong answers here. I'm just saying, let's make things a little bit easier. Let's make some decisions, better decisions that support where you want to go. And that's what defining better means. Better decisions are aligned with what you want, where you're headed, your bigger picture, your journey. You always hear me talking about the North Star and having a direction. Okay. When we have that defined, you know where you're headed. We want to make decisions that support it instead of going against it. Better decisions are also about honoring yourself and your needs, paying attention to your body. What is it saying? What are you depleted of right now? What are you needing or craving? Better decisions are rooted in caring for yourself, not ignoring yourself. Because look, we can make some pretty great decisions that end up completely burning your shit out. And at the end of the day, is that technically a better decision? No. Maybe you got what you wanted, but now you need 6 months of repair to recover from it. Like, we're not doing this boomerang bungee cord kind of decision making anymore. Okay. Your body and your mind have to come along for the ride this time. And that means making decisions that honor yourself and your body and your needs. Better decisions are also rooted in an internal agreement instead of an external validation. I'll say that again. Better decisions are rooted in an internal agreement versus an external validation. That's talking about going inside, listening to your body, getting to know what it is that you need, where you're headed, what are we working towards, what are you finished with, what are you ready for? This is an internal agreement. This is the conversation you're having with yourself and your mind and your soul and your body, your purpose, where you're headed, your drive, your passion, that just fucking makes you awesome. That's where I want you to make decisions from you, your core. This is an internal agreement with yourself to show up for yourself. Versus an external validation is going outside of yourself for permission. Asking everyone and their fucking sisters, brothers, neighbors, best friend's dog what they think about what it is that you're doing or what you should do. Gathering up all of this information and all these opinions like they're fucking Pokemon cards. And now all of a sudden you've got shit all over the place and you don't know which end is up. That feeds your overthinking, and now we're stalling on things, and now we're stuck in indecision, and you want what you want, but you're not admitting what you want because somebody else told you that you should want something different. Okay, you see where I'm going? It's messy, it's confusing, and it stops you from moving. So when you are grounded back into yourself, when you are making internal agreements with who you are, what you want, and where we're fucking headed, okay? When we honor that stuff, those are better decisions. Because it's not based off of what everyone else thinks, wants, knows, and says that you should. It's based off of what you know is right for you. Now, when I say faster, I'm not saying just skate through it all. Okay? I'm not saying make decisions, deal with it later. What I am saying is that we want to build a bit of momentum here. Okay? What I want to help you do is make the better decisions, which then is going to help things to move faster. You get to define fast. That could be next week. That could be next month. That could be in an hour. Okay. Faster is not about the time. Faster is more about keeping you from stalling, spinning in indecision, wavering back and forth, weighing your odds all over the place, going outside of yourself. You know what I mean? Like when you're ready to make a decision, and then you're like right on the cusp of it, you can feel it building up. You're pretty locked into what it is that you know that you are ready or want to do. And then all this gunk comes in, and now we've pulled back, and now something else got in the way. And now it's been 3 weeks, and now you haven't thought about it, and you're no further along than where you were 3 weeks ago. When I'm saying making better decisions faster, I'm saying we're avoiding that 3-week gunk period, where we're pulling away from overthinking and we're getting really locked into the actual details. What is real, what is true, what is possible. Because when that is the core, you can start moving. Without a decision, you can't move. You can think about moving. You can think about the end result. You can think about where you want to be. But without movement, we're just talking about it. It's just this figment of your imagination. But a decision says, okay, I have claimed that I'm going to do this. And now I can make movement towards it. I can start doing something. That something doesn't need to be huge, and that something does not need to be all of it. It just means that, hey, I'm no longer thinking about if I'm going to do this. I'm starting to make the moves to prove that I want it. When you do that, you create some momentum. Okay? Things start moving. The train starts to leave the station. We're not on a jet plane here. Okay? We're not on a rocket ship. It's not going 8,000 miles an hour right out of the gate. We are on a train. And if you know anything about locomotives, especially old school ones, they take a hot minute to build up speed. I mean, they're not just rocket shipping out of there. They take some steam. They take some movement. It takes the whole body of the train to be moving at the same cadence and the same pattern consistently and long enough for it then to pick up speed. When you start to pick up a little bit more speed, you get that momentum. Okay? Things are moving in the right direction. And do you know what happens when you're moving? You start to get more answers. You start to get more clarity. Things present itself. The right opportunities pop up. You meet somebody that tells you about somebody that hooks you up with somebody, right? Like things start moving because you're moving. And one of the things I love most about this is it also helps you to build evidence. It shows you that you can do this. You're proving to yourself that you're showing up for yourself. You are reinforcing that following through with your unfiltered truth leads you to some pretty awesome shit. You start to believe in yourself more and your confidence starts to build, which gives you the courage to make the next move, right? Like we've got things moving. This is what I mean about faster. Building and creating momentum, sustainable momentum, keeping you out of that long ass period when you're spinning around in circles in your beautiful brain hole, wondering if you can do it. When we pair these two things together, better decisions, faster, shit starts to move. That bigger picture that you're seeing, that goal that you're working on and towards, that change that you're ready to make, it starts to happen. So let's start making better decisions. I've got 3 ways to teach you how to do this. The first, no surprise, is to define what it is that you want and what you don't want. Better decisions means that you are supporting the direction that you're headed in instead of repeating the past. Okay. When you have not yet defined what it is that you want, it's very easy to fall back into the ways that you used to be in because that's what you know. You know how to do the things that you're currently doing. And without defining where it is that you're headed, you're going to just automatically click back into what you already know. And that means you're going to be making decisions based in emotion or old belief systems or habits that you're just used to doing. These are things that you're familiar with. When you're making a change, you're doing things differently. Think about it from a business perspective. What got you to this point is probably not going to get you to the next level of your growth. But if we don't define what that next level is and why it's important to you, you're probably going to continue to build your business the way that you have up until this point. So what is it that you actually want? What is this next choice? What is the next thing that you're working on and towards? And why does this matter? Why do you want this? If you can get crystal fucking clear on this, my gosh, this is half the battle, to be honest with you. Because when you're clear about what it is that you want and why you want it, now we can start making decisions that support that. Your emotions can start leaning into that instead of pulling away from it. You can start to see and feel and taste what it feels like to actually have this and what's required of you to get it. That's the biggie here. Maybe in your business all along, you have been doing pretty much everything on your own. You've built everything. You've figured everything out. You're the one answering everything. You're doing everything. It's all you. Okay. That's gotten you to this point. But this next growth level where you are headed, what you are ready for, that's probably going to require you to get some support. Do you need to hire a 30-person team? Absolutely not. But if you start looking at your business and making decisions to say, hey, if I want to grow, I've got to let some of this stuff go. I need to release some of the tasks that are draining my time, my energy, my resources. The decision is no longer, how am I going to get all this done? The decision becomes, what do I need to let go of so that I can continue to grow this business? That is a better decision that allows you to move faster. The second way to make better decisions is to wait until the emotion passes. I don't know about you, but anytime that I've made a big decision when I'm experiencing a big emotion, I usually end up going back and cleaning up a mess later. That's because our logic mind is not locked in. Okay, we're not thinking with our conscious mind. We are thinking from emotion. We're not thinking clearly. We are feeling loudly. And there's nothing wrong with having big emotions. We need to experience them because they're a big, beautiful spectrum and they're coming up for a reason. Big bursts of anger are just as powerful as big bursts of excitement. Okay, you can overcommit to something when you're feeling extremely excited about something and later go back and be like, shit, why did I do that? So this is not about the emotion itself. It's just acknowledging that, hey, when I'm experiencing big emotions or an emotion period, that's not the time for me to make a decision. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's say that you have worked through some financial challenges in life. Okay. Maybe you grew up with some financial turmoil, financial trauma, getting your numbers right has been a part of your life story. If you've been down this path, you know how sensitive that topic can be. Well, let's say that you've had a slower month than normal, or the numbers are not as high as what they have been. Even though you've done a lot of great work to get ahead and to be in a healthy spot, sometimes that feeling or seeing that dip can trigger you. So let's say that you're seeing a dip right now in your business or in your paycheck. And then your electric bill came in and it's twice as high as what you were expecting. And then you got a flat tire. So now you got to replace the tire. And so all of this financial stuff is starting to stack up and your financial emotion is coming to the front of the line. Now is not the time to make other financial decisions because now you're in reactive mode. This is not the time to choose whether or not you're going to go on vacation in 3 months. This is not the time to choose whether or not you're going to bring on your next hire in your business. This is also not the time to get into your accounts and start frantically moving things around. When that emotion starts to rise, that is your invitation to pause, to let that emotion pass, to use your coping mechanisms or your skills or the things that you've learned to be able to move through that trauma, to be able to move through those feelings. The emotion is coming up because something wants to be heard. It wants to be seen. It wants to be felt. Okay? Give yourself the chance to do that without forcing yourself to make a decision or to jump into reactive mode and making a mess out of something that you have to go back and say, God, why did I do that? Why didn't I just wait? Why couldn't I have just sat on that for a second? Pausing gives your logic time to come back online. It lets the emotion pass through you. Think of it like a wave in the ocean. A wave is not constant. It's not always there and stuck in the same space. No, it comes up, it builds, it crashes, and it moves forward. I'm not saying that you're crashing, but you know what I'm saying. Like it comes down and it moves through. And then the waters go back to being calm and it's beach day as normal. Let your emotional wave do what it needs to do. Support yourself through that. Feel what you need to feel. And then once that has neutralized or it's starting to come back down, you're going to notice that your brain comes back on. You feel sharper. All of a sudden, the solution that you didn't think that was possible pops into your brain. You remember a resource that you have. You recalibrate some things in your account, and all of a sudden you realize like, hey, we're going to be okay. The decision here goes from what do I need to fix right now to what do I need to feel and sit with first. That's a better decision that lets you move faster. Lastly, one of the best ways to make better decisions is to hear your body. Your body will never lie to you. Your brain will. And it's not because your brain is some trickster, some joker, some like, let me see how I can fuck things up today. No, your brain is designed to keep you safe. It only knows what it's known up until this point. And so when you go to make decisions that are changing what it knows, it's going to challenge you, period. That's just your brain doing what your brain is designed to do. But your body remembers a lot of things, but your body also can see and feel what's next. This comes down to trusting yourself, slowing down long enough to even hear what your body is saying. Your intuition is often this very soft, subtle, uncomplicated statement, feeling, nudge, or pull. Your brain, on the other hand, is like, look at me. There's too many options. I'm thinking of all the what ifs. I'm full of fear. I've got all kinds of worry. What about all these details, right? Like your brain loves attention. It wants to make a spectacle. Your intuition, however, is like the smart kid sitting in the corner that whispers something that's fucking genius and nobody's paying attention. Your body also gives you the unfiltered truth, whereas your brain is going to muck it up. Okay, your brain has not yet caught up with the unfiltered truth that your body is giving you. So you might hear, see, sense, or feel something, and then your brain immediately comes in and overrides it because that doesn't make sense. Oh, but let me fight you on that. Okay, it does make sense because it is the truth. It is reality. It is your inner compass saying, hey, this is it. It's actually not any more complicated than this, but your brain upstairs is adding in all this extra fuel that we don't need right now. So just like when the emotion passes, we're pausing, I'm saying pause here too. Before you go to make a decision with all that noise happening in your mind, give yourself a minute. I mean, people say sleep on it for a reason, because it gives you a second to just calibrate, to sink down into the body. Waiting and pausing and sleeping on it is not the invitation to go into the pockets of your mind where you're creating all kinds of scenarios. Instead, it's actually just being still with it. Asking yourself, what do I want here? What would feel best? How can I support myself? Where are we headed? What makes the most sense? Right? We're asking these questions and then sinking in. And when I say sinking in, I want you to just pay attention to what your body is doing. Your brain's going to want to come in like a Jack Russell Terrier, jumping up and down saying, look at me. That, not your intuition. Okay. Just to be very clear, your intuition is going to be something physical. Over time, slowing down and listening long enough, you're going to get to know what a yes feels like in your body versus a no. And this is a muscle that you can build. I am very clear on what a yes feels like for me versus a no. And that probably looks or feels a lot different than what yours does. So I can't tell you what a yes feels like for you. But one way to kind of test it out is ask yourself a question that you know without a shadow of a doubt is 110% true. Then notice where you feel that in your body. Where is that confirmation coming from? Do you get a feeling in your chest, in your gut? Does your left elbow tingle? Do the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? What does that yes feel like? And then ask yourself a question that you know without a doubt is 110% false. Tell yourself something that is an absolute no. For instance, if I said to myself, I love licorice and I'm going to go buy $1,000 worth of it. My body is like, what the fuck? No, you're not. I can feel that no in my body because it is so, without a doubt, completely clear to me that that is false. None of that is true for me. Get to know that for you, because this is one of your most untapped, unresourced ways to make better decisions, because you're not making it from your brain, which has all kinds of details around why you shouldn't do it. Instead, it's coming back into your body that says, hey, this is the right next step. It's like a little inner guidance, a little nod from the universe, a little wisdom that says, hey, we've got the answer. And if we don't muck it up with our brain, it actually gets to be a lot easier. So the decision goes from, what do I think I should do here? And it moves to, let me have a moment. I'm going to tap into my body and see what it says instead. That is going to help you make better decisions, especially when it's not clear and you just need to tap in. These 3 things alone are going to help you so tremendously. It might be shifting the way that you're currently approaching making decisions, but I can tell you from personal experience and watching my clients do this in Oraline and in the Gutsy Collective, that when you actually get clear about what it is that you want and you make decisions that support that, when you let that emotion pass, when you sit in that discomfort for a second, you hold on, you let it move through you, you start thinking more clearly. And when you listen to your body, when you tap into that inner knowing, what your unfiltered truth is, when you make decisions from that, you make gutsy moves that you would not even believe that you were capable of making. I mean, you will surprise yourself in ways that you're like, holy shit, this is working out. Oh my gosh, I'm making decisions that feel better. Oh, my body feels better. My mind feels better. Things are moving in the right direction. I'm starting to see and get and feel the things that I actually want. All because I made a couple of tweaks in the way that I'm making decisions. Gosh, friend, you're showing up for yourself in a whole new way. And that also means that you're getting things in a whole new way too. Try this out this week, okay? Pick one of these even and really try it out. Give yourself a chance to really sink into building a new habit around one of these skills. And once you've mastered one or you've got a little bit more traction with it, you can start to add the others in. You don't have to do them all at once unless you feel called to, or maybe you've already mastered 1 or 2 of these and you're ready to add in another, but practice. See and feel it in action. Use this when you're making decisions around what to make for dinner and what to do in your business. Use these when you're deciding what to wear in the morning versus what to do in your career. These are universal skills that you can use across the board to make gutsy decisions that better your life. If you're in one of kind of those pivotal moments where you can feel something bigger or new or different calling you, but you're not sure what your next step is, let me help you make your one next decision. Let's book a clarity session. I help women like you all the time to make the bold moves that you can't stop thinking about, but keep putting off. There's something that you're ready to do, something that you are made for. I help you get over that hump so that you can actually do it. I offer free clarity sessions. They're 30 minutes, you and I, to talk out and make a decision for what is the right next step for you. You can book that at lauraora.com/clarity or send me a DM. I'll send you the link. My handle is @thatlauraora across all the platforms. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.